one quick thing before we get started. Sorry. So we have a lot of politicians that speak, so I just have to read this for you really quick. New Hampshire 5051 holds many events that people come to so their voices can be heard. On occasion, candidates and elected officials may speak at these events. New Hampshire 5051 allows this on a case-by-case basis, as we believe the people should have as much information and access to their representation as possible. A candidate or elected official speaking at 5051 events does not represent an endorsement of said individual. Thank you. Okay, now Alice. Alice Wade is a state representative from Dover, a civil rights activist, and a powerful voice for LGBTQ+ rights, affordable housing, public education, and working families across New Hampshire. Today, she's exploring a run for Congress in New Hampshire's 1st District because she believes that change won't come from the top down, but from everyday people stepping up and fighting for a better future. Please welcome State Representative Alice Wade.
Thank you. How are we doing, Concord? I have to say this is the best possible weather to represent Donald Trump's birthday, I gotta say. And I also think I deserve an award for picking the worst possible day to move to a new apartment. Work in progress. So right now, it's really easy to feel overwhelmed by the daily chaos and cruelty that Donald Trump continues to unleash on our country. That is why it is more important than ever for all of you to get involved at the state and local level. You can personally make a difference in your community, and these decisions matter more to your daily life than you might think. For most of my life, I watched national politics from the sidelines, feeling cynical, frustrated, and like my voice didn't matter. I only became involved in politics a few years ago when I found out about the terrible legislation being passed here in this building. The same kinds of draconian laws I saw passed in Texas and Florida. Book bans, defunding public education, and the erosion of our civil rights were suddenly being introduced right here in the Granite State. Shame! I knew I couldn't complain about the outcomes I kept seeing if I wasn't doing everything in my power to stop them. So I got to work. I took in as much information as I could. I got involved testifying at the State House, where any citizen, any one of you, can share your voice with the people in power. I started going to rallies, and then I started organizing them. And eventually someone asked me, "Why don't you run?" And so I did. And if I can do it, you can do it too. And now, after serving in the State House and organizing along so many of you, I'm exploring a run for Congress because we deserve leaders who understand these fights firsthand. Now is the time for change. Now is the time for action and for a new vision for America. Go to your town Dems meeting and bring a friend. If you want to improve the way things are run, and if you have new ideas, run for leadership. To form a movement for change, we all have to get outside of our comfort zones. If you've never seen someone like you in office, be that person and break that glass ceiling with everything you have. There are times in history where we are all called to rise to the challenge, where we must push back against tyranny and fight tooth and nail to defend our rights. To make change, real change, we cannot wait on the sidelines any longer, not while people are being kidnapped off our streets. Now is the time to stand up and say enough is enough. While billionaires hoard more money than they could spend in 1,000 lifetimes, working families are drowning as funding for basic services keeps getting slashed. Now is the time to rise up. So let's write, let's organize, let's vote, let's run for office. Let's stand up for each other, rest when we need to, and lift one another up when we fall. Let's take back the State House, flip the Executive Council, vote Kelly Ayotte out of office, take back Congress. Let this be the generation that stood up, not for ourselves, but for each other. New Hampshire, let's get to work.